Welcome to another episode of the Sacred Roots podcast. I am your host, Eleanor de Poisson, founder of the Sacred Roots Mystery School, international author, host of this podcast, obviously. And what else am I? Oh, yeah, I'm a healer as well. I love to use energy healing and the healing power of my mind to support you in letting go of everything that you are not, letting go of everything that's holding you back, so that you can come and live your true soul's purpose and express your highest potential. And that's really something that I want to talk about today, because we are still in the fall season until the winter solstice. And it's really a season of letting go. The trees are beautifully teaching that to us. And there's a true power in letting go. And I find that this is so hard for so many of us, especially when you're at the beginning of your spiritual journey and you're like trying to understand why you feel forced to let go of certain things and why it feels scary. It's just hard. Once you understand that letting go is actually allowing the new to come through, it's easier. Letting go is really a doorway. It's a portal for more alignment, more joy, more fulfillment, more abundance in your life. And we experience phases of letting go as individuals, but we also experience them as a collective. And right now, we are in that season because that's the teaching of the fall season. If you've listened to my episode from last week, The Myth of Inyana, I talk about the death rebirth journey, the cyclical nature of life. And letting go is part of the cycle. And when you're aware of this cycle, of your own inner seasons, and that cyclical way of being, that cyclical flow of life is really there to support you, you can truly embrace it and understand the gifts of letting go. I really like to use the wisdom of nature to understand the wisdom of spirit, because nature is divine, nature is spirit. And so I was kind of laughing because I was thinking the other day, imagine trees that don't want to let go of their dead leaves. They're all brown. They're not orange anymore. They're all brown. There's barely any life in it. They're barely holding on to the branches, but the branch is like, no, 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 stay here, stay here. I don't want you to go. You don't feel really good to me anymore. I don't really like you anymore. But what if you go? What's going to replace you? What if the new leaves never come? I mean, you know, wouldn't it be silly? You'd be like, come on, tree, relax. It's fine. You're going to experience a bit of a winter season and then spring will happen. And this is what fall is. Fall is the promise of the return of the light. Letting go is the promise of something more aligned that's going to replace it, because that is one of the laws of the universe, is that nothing dies, everything transforms. Nothing is left empty. Nothing is empty space. Everything is always full. And I mean, physics has proven that many, many times. Nothing is empty. What you feel like is empty or devoid is actually filled with energy, with life, with wisdom, with teachings, with signs. It's just that we haven't thought how to interact with the unseen. So when we can't see something with our eyes, we're like, oh, well, this is empty. That happens to us like physically. If you open a box and it's empty, you're going to be like, there's nothing there. This happens to us emotionally as well, mentally, spiritually. But it's not because you can't see it that it's not existing, that it's not happening. And so letting go is hard for us human beings because we like to know. We like to think that we're in control, even though control is a big illusion. I know you know that, but it's easier said than done, right? Letting go is hard for us because we like to hold on to what we know, even if it's uncomfortable. We like to hold on to certain habits, even if they don't serve us. Like changing is difficult. You know you need to let go of that sugar. You know you need to let go of that one cigarette in the evening. You know you need to let go of the wine, too much wine on the weekend. But it's hard because it's comfortable, because it's instant pleasure. And our society is a society of easy and comfortable. But nothing great comes out of easy and comfortable. Because expansion, magic, and where your soul actually wants you to go is in what you are going to judge as uncomfortable, what your ego is going to judge as uncomfortable. And so letting go of what you know means stepping out of the comfort zone, the known zone, stepping into the uncertainty, stepping into what feels or seems to be like the void. But whatever you let go of, spirit, the goddess, the universe is going to fill it with something that is more aligned, with something that responds to your current frequency. And so your current reality was created by your frequency of the past. Because things take time to materialize. Everything happens first in the spiritual, and then it materializes in the matter. And so your thoughts, your emotions, your visions, your dreams, your desires, they are going to manifest a few weeks or months later. So your current reality is the result of who you were a month, 2 months, 6 months ago. So if you let go of certain things that you decided in the past that have been there for a certain time, and they don't really feel good anymore because they don't reflect who you've become, if you let go of that, then automatically you are going to attract into your life something that matches your new frequency, something that is aligned with who you've become. Let that sink for a moment. This is why I'm staying silent. It's done on purpose. Your current reality is a reflection of who you were in the past. So if you let go of certain things that have been there for too long that don't feel good anymore, automatically what you are going to attract is going to be better because you've evolved. Because you've let go of certain masks, fears, beliefs. You've had certain realizations of who you are, which means you've healed, you've increased your frequency, you're more connected to your truth. And your external reality is a reflection of your internal reality. I have said this so many times on this podcast. Because spirit is always trying to show you who you are. So what you're going to attract, what you're going to manifest, what is going to happen and like appear in the matter is a reflection of your frequency, of who you've become. And because we constantly evolve, it just gets to become better and better and better. But for it to become better and better and better, we need to first let go. Otherwise, we're not allowing for the space to be created for the things that are more aligned, more joyful, more fulfilling, more loving to come into our lives. And that's the beauty of spiritual teachings. That's the beauty of mystery teachings and ancient wisdom, is that it helps us understand how life functions, who we really are, and how we can express our highest potential, live our purpose. So one of the first steps in expressing your highest potential is to let go of what is present in your life that doesn't reflect who you've become, or that doesn't reflect who you are really deep inside. And as I am saying this, I know you know what you need to let go of. You just don't really want to do it. Because it brings up fear, right? That job that doesn't feel good anymore. That offer that's making you a lot of money but not bringing you any joy anymore. That relationship, even though you love that person, but you know it's not aligned with who you are. You know it's not nourishing you anymore. You know it's not honoring all of who you are. It's hard to let go. Our egos don't want that. Our egos are afraid. Our egos want comfort. I know. I know. I know, really. I'm still struggling with it sometimes. But that letting go is a promise of something better, of something that you are actually seeking, something that will bring you more joy, more fulfillment, more freedom, more abundance, more love, more of what you actually want than what you have now. But letting go it's the mandatory challenge, the door that you have to open to be able to move to the next room, to the next level, to the next timeline, to the next chapter. There is no other way. And that's the wisdom of the trees. That's what the fall season teaches us. That's what the trees teach us. And after fall, there's winter. So there's often a season where it's dark. What is the winter? It's the darkest season of the year. It's when there's the least light, the least masculine energy, the most darkness. Darkness is feminine. But what is feminine energy? Essentially, it's creative. It's the birther. So after letting go, you might feel like you don't see exactly where you're going. You don't have the answer of what's coming next. And that's usually where it's scary. We have a tendency to go back to what we knew. But that's where we need to hold on. That's when we need to surrender. That's when we need to welcome the darkness, because the darkness, physically, it is going to activate your pineal gland. So when you are in physical darkness, like there's less light, you're really in the winter season. Or when you are in mental, emotional darkness, you can't see where you're going. You don't have clarity. You don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. Use physical darkness to support you, because it's in that winter phase, in that darker phase, that a lot is happening, and that the light can come and guide you, because there's no light without darkness and there's no darkness without light. And so I was talking about the pineal gland, and the pineal gland is releasing melatonin when it's darker, right? So that you can sleep. But melatonin doesn't just help you to sleep. It helps you to see. It helps you to receive guidance. Your pineal gland has little crystals in it that is constantly receiving information and emitting information. And that information is then translated into images, messages, visions, words, ideas. Your soul, your spirit guides are constantly guiding you, especially when you're in that winter season, in that darkness, in that lack of clarity of how to move forward, because your soul, your intuition, your spirit guides are the light in times of darkness that will guide you out of it, that will give you clarity, that will show you the next step. And so while this phase might feel lonely, filled with uncertainty, that's when you need to stand still. That's when you need to go within, close your eyes, and receive. Connect with your intuition. Do meditations. Regulate your nervous system. Recharge your batteries, because spring is coming. The light will return, I promise you. It's just the more you can surrender, the faster the light will return. If you keep holding on to what you knew and you keep going back, the night is not going to return. But if you surrender, if you allow the winter to happen, if you allow the darkness to stay there for 3 days and 3 nights, again, this is symbolic. Listen to the myth of Inyana to understand the teaching in those 3 days and 3 nights. So that's the previous episode 95. The light will always return. Spring will always come. Since I've been born, I've never had a year without spring. I don't know about you, but that's never happened. I've never woken up a morning and the sun decided to give up. I know I'm using silly examples, but that's the law of nature. The sun will always return in the morning after we've slept, after the night. And the night when we sleep, that's that winter, that's that lonely phase. That's when I'm saying it's time for you to connect with your intuition, connect with your dreams as well. We do it during the night. You can connect with your dreams. That's when we receive guidance. It's a time to retreat, to regenerate, to slow down, to get ready for the return of the light. It's happening in nature, but it's happening in your psyche as well. And that's what nature is trying to teach you. It's right there in plain sight. It's happening every day. Same with the cycles of the moon, same with the cycles of the season. But still, we don't always see it. That's part of the mystery teachings that I love to teach because they're so empowering when you understand that life will push you through these cycles so that you can express your highest potential, how to embrace each phase. It's so potent. I am going to hold a 3-day free challenge, Live Your Purpose, in a few weeks from the 13th until the 15th of December. If this wisdom, you want more of it, sign up to that challenge. I'm going to put the links in the show notes of this episode. And if you are ready to really go deeper, put yourself on the wait list of the Mystery School because this is what I'm teaching. I'm giving you a sneak peek into it because I want to support you in living your highest potential and your true purpose. And that begins with letting go. So practically, what does that mean? Practically, it means have a look at everything in your life that just doesn't feel good anymore, that feels that it's out of life. Just like the tree is like, okay, those leaves are brown. There's no life moving through it. I'm letting go of it. All the things that drain you, all the things that don't nourish you. It can be food habits. It can be your sleeping habits. It can be the people in your life. It can be beliefs that don't serve you. It can be something that you're doing in your business. All the things that are not nourishing you, there's no life in it, really. There's no life force. It's not uplifting you. Let go of it. Trust, and let go of it, because something that is filled with much more life, which means it's going to be much more aligned for you, is going to come up and replace it. And so that's taking an inventory of your life physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And it also means letting go of your mind and coming back to your heart. Because in that process, we can have a tendency to get stuck in our head and be like, should I do this? Should I do that? What does feel safe? And the thing is that our minds only perceive 2% of reality. And who we think we are is not going to come. No, let me repeat that. Who we came here to be is not going to come from your mind. You don't know what your highest potential is, what your true purpose is, who you came here to be. It's not something that's going to come from your mind, but it is something that's going to come from your heart. Your heart center, that's where there's the most life force energy. It's the most magnetic center of your whole energetic 1, 2, 3 energy body, your whole chakras. So when you can drop in your heart, that's when you hear your soul. That's when you can feel your intuition. That's when your body is telling you yes or no. That feels good, that doesn't feel good. Now be careful. Sometimes certain things feel good, but still scary. Most of the time they do. So the fear is coming from your mind. But something that's exciting you, that's calling you, it's like, you feel the warmth in your belly, in your womb, or in your heart. That means it's a yes from your body. And then your ego kicks in, your mind kicks in. How are we going to make this happen? How am I going to make the money? How am I going to find the money? How am I going to find the clients? What if it doesn't work? That's your mind. That's your fear. That's your ego. Let go of your fear. Let go of your mind. Drop into your heart. Drop into your all loving, all knowing heart where you can be present to your divine presence, to your I am presence, to your soul, the divine within you that is always guiding you towards expressing your highest potential. And this is such an exciting journey to be on. It's not the easiest because following those sensations, following that voice, it's not always going to make sense. And it's scary to let go of what we know, even if it's not the best. To be like, well, I hope something better is going to show up, right? We are not raised like that. We're raised to control, to have our life figured out, not to let the greater plan unfold. But when you want to live in spiritual alignment, live your true purpose, you have to surrender. You have to let go and allow the greater plan to unfold. That greater plan is not going to unfold from your mind, from trying to control everything. It's going to unfold when you lead with your heart, when you lead with your soul. And I think that now more than ever, I feel like it's such a cliche sentence to say in like the coaching and the spiritual community. So I don't really like saying it, but it's just coming through right now. So let's just be what it is. In the very chaotic times that we are living as a collective, with the wars, the abuse, the power, the money games, the horror that's happening, that is breaking our hearts. Let us not live into more fear. Let us not hold on to what was. Because what's happening at a collective level is that we are letting go of things that aren't really working anymore, that haven't been working for a while, that belonged to a previous frequency of the earth and her beings. And we are evolving a lot. We are awakening, which means our frequency is rising. But we need to let go to be able to move on. And our collective is only going to move on into something greater if we all do it at an individual level and if we all come back to our hearts. So this message is for you at an individual level, but realize that when you allow yourself to do that in your life, you're not just impacting your life, you're impacting the collective. And we are all connected. We are starting to realize how connected we are, thanks to social media, thanks to the Corona circus, where we were like, this thing is just spreading so easily. We are interconnected. So if you want to change the collective, we have to do it within ourselves first. Because the collective is a reflection of where we are at our individual level. And if we can all choose to follow our inner guidance, choose to trust, choose to love ourselves, choose to connect with spirit and live from there, it's going to work. Everything that is happening right now will be worth it. And I hope that while our hearts are being broken by the horrendous things that are happening on the planet right now, we can let a little bit more of our light shine through the cracks. We can choose love instead of fear. We can choose respect for each other instead of judgment. And each trying to speak our truth, because there are many, many, many truths. We don't always want to hear that. But this is my prayer. And this is my prayer for the planet right now, for the collective right now. And this is my prayer for you individually as well. So, sorry to be finishing on a bit of a deeper, not super joyful note. How can we lift this up again? The premise of the darkness that we are currently experiencing is that the light will return. Yes, it will. Spring always comes back. But remember what I said, we have to surrender. The fastest we can surrender and accept the winter, accept the darkness, and come back into our hearts when we are in that darkness to receive the light and express our lights, the fastest spring season will be there. The flowers will bloom. So I'm using, physical metaphors, but this is happening emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, energetically as well in our lives and in the collective. So let's wrap it up with like 3 very practical questions. What isn't serving you anymore? What isn't in your highest good anymore? Question number 1. How can you let go of that today? Question number 2. Question number 3. It's not a question, it's more like a step. Envision your legacy of love. Connect with your heart and envision of what your life could look like if you felt connected to your highest potential. Call it in. Feel it in your body. Visualize it. Write it down. Sing it. Sing it over your water and then drink your water to inform all your cells, all your organs of what it is that you're calling in, what it is that you're wanting to create, how it would feel to be in your highest potential. And then once you've done that, well, actually connect with your heart and allow yourself to be guided by your intuition, by your soul, by your spirit guides. So, my loves, I am excited to see how you're going to take this wisdom into your life, how you're going to trust and let go and choose to focus on something greater instead. Choose to focus on what it is you want to create and then follow your intuition. Your intuition, your soul, your spirit guides are always guiding you towards expressing your highest potential. But you need to create space to listen to them, to receive their guidance, and for them to bring you guidance on something that is better. If your life is already full, you have no time for yourself. You have no space for yourself, and full of like beliefs and habits and choices that are not in your highest good, that aren't serving you. There's no space for something new to come in. And that's the power of letting go. You're creating space for what's aligned. So I know it is scary, but I hope this wisdom can help you take the courageous step towards letting go of the old so that the new can be born. And think about trees. And you can do some tapping if it helps you. You can do some meditation, some nervous system regulation if it helps you. There are many, many tools that can support you in feeling the fear and doing it anyways. This is a lot about, what it is to live a spiritual life and live in alignment. Feel the fear and follow love. Do it anyway. Thank you so much for having me in your private space today. I can't wait to connect with you during the 3-day challenge, Live Your Purpose. It's going to be December 13, 14, 15. And after that, we'll open the doors to the Sacred Roots Mystery School. So if you really want to dive deeper into those teachings, into feminine wisdom, into ancient wisdom, into truly expressing your highest potential, understanding the cyclical nature of life, understanding water magic, understanding how to create sacred union within yourself, learning about sacred geometry, sacred sound, sacred sexuality. There's so much there that is deeply, deeply life changing and can help you really come and live your true purpose. If you're ready for that wisdom and you want more of this, sign up to the waitlist of the Sacred Roots Mystery School, because I am gifting you an early bird price, also a priority access, and a little secret surprise that I am really excited to reveal to you on December 1st. That's when the doors will open for the Mystery School. So much love. I mean, the doors will open for the waitlist. So much love. Thank you so much for listening to me. I hope this wisdom enlightened, inspired, and supported you on your path. And I'll see you in the next episode.